back to Pop Flashback. I'm Rick Smalls. Tina Boucher's out today, getting a little work done, if you know what I mean. But hey, that just means more stage time for me. And today we're going to be talking about a pretty interesting story from the world of Saturday Night Live. We're going to be talking about the only non-celebrity to ever host the show. Yeah, you heard that right. Not a comedian, not an actor, not even like, one of those viral TikTok people or something, just a regular person. Her name, Miskel Spillman.
It's amazing that this happened all the way back in 1977. This was SNL's third season. They were running this contest called Anyone Can Host. And Spillman, an 80-year-old grandmother from New Orleans, actually won.
80 years old, just picture it. You're a grandma, and then suddenly you find yourself on live TV with John Belushi and the rest of the not ready for primetime players. That's got to be surreal.
Yeah, it really is a product of a different time in television, that sense that anything could happen, that anyone could become a star, even if it was just for one night. And Spillman won with this hilarious 25-word entry. Pure genius.
Oh, you mean her line about needing one more cheap thrill because her doctor only gave her 25 more years to live?
That's the one.
I mean, how could you not pick her after reading that? So classic.
It's self-deprecating, it's witty, and I think there's this underlying rebelliousness to it that just resonated with audiences. It's almost like she was saying, hey, I'm 80, what have I got to lose?
Exactly. And get this, she was introduced by the legendary Buck Henry. That's got to be one for the books. But you know what really cemented Spillman's place in SNL history? Her monologue.
Ah, yes, the monologue. It's almost mythical at this point. Partly because of the alleged involvement of certain herbal refreshments courtesy of John Belushi.
Right. There's this whole bit where she comes out seemingly, shall we say, relaxed, talking about how everything feels like it's in slow motion.
It's just one of those SNL moments that is so hard to imagine happening today. There was this looseness, this unpredictability that was just built into the DNA of the show back then.
You know what's crazy? Spillman actually held the record for oldest person to ever host SNL for over 3 decades, 32 years.
It wasn't until 2010 when Betty White, who was 88 at the time, hosted that Spillman's record was broken.
Wow.
But even then, there's something special about Spillman being this complete unknown, just a regular person who had this incredible moment.
It really is. It was like SNL was saying, hey, this show isn't just for celebrities. It's for anyone with a funny story and a willingness to just go for it.
And I think that's a message that still resonates with people today. There's a part of us that wants to believe that anyone can have their 15 minutes of fame, that the spotlight might shine on us, even if it's just for a little bit.
I think you're right. So here's a question for you all out there in listener land. Could you imagine a non-celebrity hosting SNL today? What kind of person would it even be? Let us know down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you all think.
It's really interesting to think about Spillman's story, and it's not just about her 15 minutes of fame. It's about what her story says about us, the audience.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Tell me more.
Think about it. 1977, pre-reality TV. Pre-internet fame. The whole thing, just this grandma snagging a cheap thrill. It tapped into something I think America was really craving. Authenticity.
Oh, yeah. It was like this breath of fresh air compared to, the polished and predictable world of celebrities. People really wanted something real. Something relatable.
Exactly. And Spillman, with her wit and that twinkle in her eye, she just delivered. And it wasn't just about the jokes for anything. It was about her personality, her spirit. She was like someone you would want to have a beer with,
100%. And speaking of personality, let's go back to that winning contest entry. That line about needing a cheap thrill. I mean, it's funny, but it also tells you so much about her.
Oh, yeah, totally. There's this feistiness there. Self-awareness, like a refusal to take life too seriously. I always wonder, was that intentional? Did she craft this persona, or was she just being herself? It's a question that keeps me up at all, honestly.
Seriously. What was her life like before SNL? What made her enter that contest? Was she always like the life of the party? We need a Miskel Spillman biopic stat.
I know, right? There's this whole untold story there, waiting to be discovered. And speaking of untold stories, we haven't even talked about what happened after her SNL appearance.
Oh, yeah. Did she become a local celebrity or something? Did she get any other offers? Did she meet Dana Carvey? He was a huge fan of his.
That's right. She mentioned in an interview that she loved his work, and get this, she saw him live years after her appearance.
Whoa. Hold on. That's actually really interesting. So she kept watching SNL even after her moment in the spotlight.
Yeah, she did. It makes you wonder, what did she think about how the show evolved? Did she still see that spark of the unexpected, that willingness to push boundaries? Or did she feel like something had changed?
Man, these are the questions we need answers to. Someone get Lord Michaels on the phone. But really, Spillman's continued interest in SNL even years later. It tells you something about her, right? It shows that she wasn't just in it for the fame. She really loved comedy and the power of laughter.
Yeah, and that's what makes her story so enduring, so captivating. It's a reminder that sometimes the best moments in life come from the most unexpected places, and that it's never too late to embrace new experiences, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to maybe even find yourself sharing the stage with a blues brother.
Dude, you just gave me chills. Spillman's story is truly one for the ages. A testament to the power of humor, the magic of live television, and that you can find unexpected joy even later in life.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's wild to think about how Spillman's story fits into the whole history of SNL. It was such a different time for the show and for comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
It was the Wild West of late-night TV.
Yeah.
They were just throwing stuff at the wall, taking risks, pushing boundaries, stuff you just don't see as much these days.
Right. And Spillman's whole thing was the perfect example of that. Just this wonderfully weird, unpredictable moment that you could only get in those early days of SNL.
And her winning that contest, it was a huge gamble for SNL, right?
Oh, yeah.
They basically put their faith in this random 80-year-old woman with zero experience in entertainment.
And it paid off big time.
It did.
It showed that audiences were craving something different, something real. Spillman's authenticity was refreshing.
Totally.
It was almost subversive.
It was like she was saying, hey, you don't have to be a celebrity to be funny. You don't have to be a celebrity to be interesting. You just got to be yourself.
And I think that is a really powerful message, especially these days.
It is.
We're constantly bombarded with these images of perfection. And Spillman's story is a good reminder that real life, with all its quirks and imperfections, can be just as entertaining.
I think you're right. It's sad that she's not around to see how much her story still inspires people today. I bet she would be thrilled.
I think so, too.
To know that we're still talking about her, still laughing at her jokes,
Yeah.
Still marveling at her audacity, I guess.
There was just this joy about her,
Yeah.
this zest for life.
Yeah.
It was contagious.
She proved that you're never too old to chase a dream, never too old to embrace the unexpected. And she showed the world that anyone can have their moment in the spotlight, even an 80-year-old grandma from New Orleans.
And what a moment it was.
Miskel Spillman, we salute you. Thanks for listening. Remember to like and subscribe so you can get the next episode. Catch you next time.